Over 23 years ago, I declared this, the Land Rover Series 1, to be the greatest car ever built on Top Gear.
We're talking about great cars. That's not the same thing as desirable cars.
It was actually part of a whole audience poll thing. Various of us advocated for various cars being the best ever built, and you, the great British public, was invited to vote. As an aside, it's so long ago, it was kind of before the internet, so the voting was actually done by telephone. But ancient history apart, the good news is this, the Land Rover, won. It was voted by you to be the greatest car ever built. The car we filmed for that on Top Gear, I so fell in love with, I actually bought it, took it home, and a few years later decided, right, it's time to embark upon a magnificent restoration of this car. So I took it apart, completely, drilled out every rivet and laid it all out. And that's as far as it got. Nothing else happened. So now, well over 2 decades later, I am going to rebuild it. The whole thing, a complete restoration. And it all starts here, today, with this. Probably the most important bit. This is the engine. So this is the first in a series as we embark upon the restoration of the greatest car ever built. Right, time to begin. I need 2 things to do this. 1, my glasses, because I won't be able to see a thing. And 2, I need a Rob, because Rob from CKD. Hello, mate.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We should stress,
Yes.
before we do anything, I'm here under your guidance.
Okay.
Critically, I have done an engine build on DRIVETRIBE before in my Buick,
Yes.
and it hasn't exploded.
Slightly more cylinders than this.
It was big
Yeah.
and heavier. I've also done a Pinto and a Mini in the past, both of which did explode. So
Right.
don't be
Yeah.
afraid to shout at me.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Now
We'll work you through it.
We should stress, Rob, obviously, this is the actual engine out of my car.
Correct, yeah.
But it didn't look like this when it came out.
No, it was in a fairly sorry state,
It looks gorgeous.
to be fair.
So what have you done to the block?
So full strip,
Yep.
everything out, bearings, you name it, the whole shebang, and then it all gets acid dipped. So the main block and the cylinder head over there on the side has all been dipped. First things first, we'll flip it over and we'll fit the oil pump in, the oil pressure relief valve, get all that in, and I can show you obviously underside, crank, com rods, all that kind of stuff. It's worth mentioning actually that in order to get this far, it's all been decked, it's been bored out, the crank has been nitrided and ground, all moving parts, so crank, rods, pistons, flywheel, clutch have all been balanced as well, just to give you that slightly more smoother running. It's not
gonna work better
necessary.
in here,
It should run pretty well.
Okay, it's going to run like a Phantom engine.
Yeah,
basically.
hopefully.
Glasses are going on, begin.
Right, let's go. So we'll flip it over.
Good. Oh, we'll get to see all the...
You'll get to see all the
Underside.
gubbins inside.
Oh, crankshaft coming at you.
There you go.
There it is. That is clean, isn't it? And that's a lot of work.
It is to get it to this stage.
Really should.
Yeah, potentially. There probably were better engines out there.
Yeah.
But with it being the original one for your
I'm
car,
going to go for that. It's got to be the car.
Yeah, it's worth doing, and it's worth doing properly. So
Right.
Let's grab the oil
I'm
pump.
ready.
We'll
Oil
get
pump.
that in. So that's this part over
Okay.
here.
Last time I did this, I remember saying, it's like as a kid working outside my house on the gravel with the Haynes manual, and none of the bits I was trying to fit to my car looked like the ones in the book, and I never had the right tools or the knowledge. We've got all of those things here today because the parts look like they should. That's the oil pump.
That's the oil
and
pump
that's
in.
dropped in.
And
So
then
that-
we've got a locator pin, bolt.
That picks up.
So that's your strainer,
Yeah.
basically. That's
Because the sump will be here.
The sump will be there.
It won't be
yeah.
full of bits of metal and swarf. It'll be
Nope,
absolutely
it
clean.
should be hopefully clean and
Yeah.
you know,
And then it
everything
goes
else
up
is good.
there, and then
Yeah,
it comes.
so it goes all the way through, so it picks it up here.
Yeah.
There's 2 gears in there that are driven
Yeah.
by a shaft that comes off the camshaft up here.
Right.
So that provides you oil pressure. So oil pressure goes up there and then it enters all the oil galleys and gets sent all the way around the engine. Well, we need to get the oil pressure valve in next.
Yeah, let's get the oil pressure valve in.
There you go, you're getting it.
These engines were derived from a car engine, weren't they? That's when Rover built it.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it harks back to a pre-war design. Yeah.
Right, it wasn't broke.
Yeah.
Don't fix it.
So that's your oil pressure relief ball. And you've got a plunger, a spring, and then a preloaded, well, rather I should say adjustable valve, basically, that you can adjust the pressure.
Pressure on the spring.
Yeah,
and then on
which
the
adjusts the
release.
pressure in here. If you'd like to
I'd love to.
seat the ball,
I will seat the ball.
can you see where it's got to go? All the way into there. But it's
Yes, it goes
it
to a
can
sort of...
be a bit of a faff because it might get in the groove bit there. So if you can push that all the way in. Yeah, cool.
It's in, plunger
Plunge
and
it
spring,
in and spring. And
the cup that holds it, and this is what
push
gives you the
all
pressure.
that into it.
If I cross-thread this, I presume I just run out into the river and...
Yeah, you are almost cross-threading it to
I?
start with. But it's okay. Going in?
That's
Yeah?
got- yeah, a couple
Is it
of
bit? Yeah, great stuff. Right, keep going on that then. We won't set that up quite yet.
So by
until
adjusting
obviously-
this, you adjust the pressure on the spring, which is adjusts the point at which the ball will be pushed back.
Exactly, yeah, it's a relief
not
valve.
complicated.
No, that's part of the reason why they did so well. you know,
And part of the reason why these engines in their prime put out a monumental 50 horsepower.
Yeah, and 101 or 102 foot-pounds of torque.
So they're
so-
quite talky little units.
Well,
weren't
that's
they? They're
because of
quite
the long
chunky.
stroke.
I love getting to see all of this because when this car is finished in as little as another 100 years, on current rate of progress, I'll be able to imagine this. Like when I was a kid on the back seat of the Anglia, going down to Weston-super-Mare on family holidays, I'd lie and I could hear the differential grinding away behind me, and I used to imagine the big cogs of the little crown wheel and the pinion turning. I'll be able to imagine this spinning, and hopefully not vibrating and shaking itself to bits.
In terms of other assembly that's gone on, getting these castellated nuts to align with their split pin holes
I did
while it
notice this
has a specific torque.
Oh,
It's
God,
quite an
yes,
interesting
because if,
game to
if
play.
the torque
you
arrived
end
at
up
doesn't
over-torquing.
coincide with the hole.
Exactly, yeah.
So what, you don't put a shim in, do you? What do you do?
No,
You
you
just-
shock change until you eventually find a configuration that works. And
Because you
then
need the helix of the thread to coincide with the point at
Exactly.
which torque is
Yeah.
reached and the holes
Where
are
it goes
If
through.
you're not into engines, this isn't a conversation to take to the pub because people will look at you funny.
yeah, they would.
It was now time to flip the engine back over and get to work on the busy top end bits.
This is. There's a sort of a gap here on the bank of
Yeah, a convenient
camshaft
gap.
and
It's,
valves and springs. So camshaft is there
Yeah,
and
so
very, very pretty and clean. Is that a replacement camshaft?
it is a replacement.
Yes.
But I've kept your old one though, Richard, because
And
I
then the-
wanted to show you how
Was
well
it a little-
used.
Is it a little tired?
And if you look at the
Ooh, he's
part of
done
the
some
lobe
work,
that's not
hasn't it?
worn,
Yeah.
you can see how
It's-
worn that actually is. And it's part of was a slight design flaw, if you will, in terms of the oil lubrication on the side of these engines, which later they've rectified by cross-drilling the followers
And
to
it's
allow
got
the
oil.
oil to come all the way through.
I can't tell you how satisfying it is to be around mechanical bits that are exactly as they should be after a lifetime of, yeah, mine looks a bit like the one in the book, a bit more rust on it.
And getting it back to spec, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
That is a critical pricing.
And are those springs at either end of the rocker shaft?
Yeah, so they force
Does it float?
this assembly
Oh, I
into
see.
place. You can see.
Right. Yeah, so the followers can be jammed onto the lobes.
Exactly, and it holds it on, and then you've got a really nice phosphorus bronze washer in between the two to stop
That's a
them
lovely
from wearing.
phosphorus bronze.
It's a great way to do it.
It's a really
Yeah.
lovely one. Obviously, I know why it's phosphorus bronze. I do. But I just want to, you might want to know. Why is it phosphorus bronze?
Because of its oil holding capabilities,
holding capabilities,
and
yeah.
wear capabilities.
Correct.
So speaking of wear, this is one of your old followers.
Oh, it's totally followed.
Yeah. So I'll get the equivalent.
I mean,
And these are original ones that have had the wear completely ground off, and then a new pad. You can
Built
just
back.
see,
Oh, yeah, see what's going
where
on.
it's been placed.
so that's an original follower.
an original follower. So new rocker shafts.
Yep.
Now these have a specific orientation within the block. So basically you've got a thrust side, a non-thrust side in terms of its running.
Haven't we all?
has the force on it, yes. And you want to set it up so that these non-flattened holes are facing inwards, because that's the side that has the greatest level of thrust onto it. So when we build it, we'll put that in like that.
A lot of words then, wasn't it? So this is quite interesting. With the Buick, I did the heavy, slow-moving bottom end of the engine.
Yes.
And now this time we're doing frantic, busy stuff at the top that gets everything in and out.
So this one will be the first one that we put in, which will go into there. And when we slide the rocker shaft through, we've got to remember to put the spring
Yep.
between that as
To
well.
allow that to float on the rocker shaft.
Exactly. So
Float on the rocker shaft. Maybe my first album.
Oil.
Yes.
Just normal
Into the
regular engine oil. Yeah, just oil it up. Can't put enough
on there.
lubricant on it when you're assembling it. Yeah, exactly. And the same as in the other one in there.
Both camera guys didn't laugh when you said lubricant.
No.
Did you notice? That was quite impressive. They're getting better.
They're well trained.
Yeah.
Very well trained.
Well done.
So we'll put spring on first.
Yep.
Then we'll grab.
So we need a spring. We don't need one of your bronze washers at that point.
Not quite yet, no.
Okay,
so
so that's
we'll put a bit
the
more. Where's the lube gone?
The lube.
Right, so we've got to make sure when we put this in that the arm, the pad, if you will,
Yep.
that runs on the cam, on the lifter
Yep.
in there, sits on this side, not up there. Because if it sits up there, it's not getting driven by the cam and it's going to do nothing. Yeah, it won't open or close anything. I will grab the other. Right, now you're going to have to pull it out, I'm afraid, a little bit.
Yep.
And then I'm going to end up pushing. There we go. Right, okay.
There.
Brilliant.
Is there nothing on the side of that?
I
follower
wondered whether or
and
not
the-
you were going to mention that. No, there is not. So they isolated these two parts as they obviously move like that. But this one, the centre web, if you will, of the casting, is not.
So doesn't it just
isolated.
eat its way through the web and?
I mean,
'cause it's been
yeah,
pressed,
you'd
it's
have
been-
to do some pretty galactic mileage, but
it
yeah.
did.
Well, the springs obviously keep the tension on it as well, so it's all
So
held.
keep it aligned so they
Yeah.
stop it being pushed too far.
Yeah, so it's
Again,
not floating.
not a conversation for the pub with people who are not interested in engines. Nobody will talk to you again.
Yeah. Now, I just want to. Can you rotate that a little bit? Because basically, I'm trying to get that to align with
Yeah.
that at that point. I think that's pretty good. And then if you want to tap that through,
Fair
start to
tapage.
bring it through. Don't obviously whack the living
No.
daylights out of it.
But it might need, because it's going to have to locate the follower on
Yeah.
the other side. Tell me when.
Go now and see what happens.
I think we're in.
Has it gone through?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
we're in. That's bloody easy.
There we go.
Right.
Don't know why we made such
But-
a big scene.
I'm guessing what you're going to ask me to do is be really sure about the alignment of that top hole.
Yeah,
Before we drive it all the way in, because
we've got
once
to
it's
get
in,
it,
we've got
yeah.
no way of moving it.
And also, we've got to watch really carefully as it comes by this bit here. So we
That is-
pick up on the
yeah.
point and don't go too far.
That
It's not the end of the world.
is
but-
not designed for hasty assembly.
No, it's not.
No, okay. So this is where it gets critical.
Right, keep
the hole
going.
is about to disappear
Yep,
here, so
that's-
I'm entirely
We've got to
not
commit
hands.
to it now.
Commit?
Yeah.
Can you not see it yet?
Not yet. As I say, it's got to get.
Do I have to drift it in?
Yeah, there's a bronze drift that we're going to.
Ooh,
See
let
if
me
we
look
can
at
get
the
the right
Ooh, let me
side.
just, hang on a second.
It's not the greatest of condition drift, but
Lovely,
it'll
it's a
do.
bronze drift, so it's soft metal.
It's soft and you know, it will.
That's the kind of thing that I would have come across in my manual.
And said, oh,
Select your bronze drift of the correct diameter.
no good.
Well, I haven't got one, have I? So that
Right,
goes just
so,
direct
yeah,
on
if
there.
you put that just directly onto there, and then I'll watch as it
Okay.
comes through.
I'll keep tapping
Yeah,
until you
keep
tell me what.
tapping it.
This is like handicraft, isn't it? It's not like
is a bit,
mechanics
isn't it?
anymore. It's
No.
like sculpting.
Oh, right, so if we stop there, can you see the hole? It's just appeared
Ooh!
just there.
Oh, bloody hell, we're not
So
far-
we've still
I
got a
didn't-
long, yeah, it's still got, you know,
So as long as it doesn't
bit
turn
over
between
half
here
an
and
inch.
there.
Yeah.
I want a bronze drift for Christmas.
Right, well, tiny bit more. Stop. One more. Yeah, I think that's got it.
And it's an absolute fit, isn't it? Because it's just a straight thread.
It did rotate. That's perfect now, look.
Ooh, look
All
at
the way
that,
through.
I reckon. Ooh.
Great stuff.
Okay, well, the acid test does that.
Yeah, so that little pin bolt, we'll grab that and
Right.
put that in. So if you want to screw that in,
I'd love to. It's going to go straight in, you know that.
hang on, we'll just put a bit of lube, just to make sure.
Ah, that now it's...
You might feel a little bit of resistance
Oh, yeah, I can.
as
It's
it goes through.
Yeah.
Let's see what it feels like when we get a socket on it. Just the last thing we want to do is to
This is
snap
purely
this
feel
off.
now because
Yeah.
of...
So yeah, that feels good. It's pulled in nicely.
So that first dowel bit has gone through, found the hole on the other side, and
Exactly.
just...
It's located it, if you will.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's
That's
just
threaded
all it
through.
is just pulls it up and then locks it in place. So that stops the whole rocker shaft from rotating.
Yeah. That's
and
cool.
That's that assembly done.
Rebuilding the engine from a Series 1 Land Rover isn't exactly a quick job. There are a lot of parts to consider, and those parts need some TLC. So before anything goes back together, everything needs a proper clean.
Cleaning stuff. Some of that went where I wanted it.
That's where Liqui Moly brake cleaner comes in. It blasts away oil, grease and decades of grime, leaving parts properly clean and ready to go back where they belong. When you are rebuilding a classic engine like this, starting with clean components makes life a lot easier.
Oh, let me see that gasket.
Copper gasket.
Oh, that is more jewellery.
And it's incredibly thick, actually,
It's
which obviously
massive.
doesn't help with the compression, but
No.
being a low compression engine,
It doesn't really
matter.
That is a serious piece of jewellery, though, isn't it? Can I have
Yeah, it's
that on
nice.
a copper drift as well?
Yes, of course. Right, now for the fun bit.
Yes.
We'll bring the head over and we'll place it on top, slide it down these locator dowels, and then we can put the head bolts in, torque all that down,
And it's starting to
start
look
the
like an
assembly
engine.
proper.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Now, do I take my fingers out?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You don't want that thing. There you go. Nice
Ooh.
resounding clunk as well. Okay, cool.
It's an engine.
So suddenly it starts to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
shape. Right, so just oil all the threads.
Yep.
In fact, or I can hold them and you can oil.
You hold them, I'll oil them.
And then we'll whap them in. Next batch. So these are slightly shorter, and you'll notice
There's
that
nothing wrong with that.
because of the nature of the engine design and the slanted block,
Yeah,
the bolts have to change length as you go across it. So these are going to be the shortest,
even shorter.
medium, and longest. Don't go crazy on tightening them, just pull them all down into their location.
Obviously, as always with head bolts, they will have to be torqued up to a specific tightness, and they'll have to be done in a particular order, or you risk warping the head
Correct. Yeah.
and ruining everything forever.
It wouldn't be a good day out, no.
No.
Push rods.
Right, I did wonder where they were going to go.
We're going to have to put these in. And you see these cups here? On
Oh,
the
that's where
side?
they sit,
Yeah.
on the other rockers that we put in. That makes
Precisely.
sense.
So if you plop some oil into all four of those little cups, basically you see this scallop here. Mm-hmm. 1, 2,
Oh, yeah.
3 and 4. So if you want to push those, locate them down into the cup at the bottom.
Yep. Don't you be rattling.
Hopefully not.
All in.
Right, great stuff. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
There's
that's a busy.
springs, there's, you know.
So
and
that's a
to try-
replica. It's this, but in
essentially,
one
yeah,
piece rather than
just,
two.
Just
and-
for the inlet valves,
Yeah.
really. And obviously this is driven off the camshaft down the side. So that one's in. This one's going to be the next one. So if you bring your end down a little bit. Okay, cool.
Ooh,
Nice. A very light tapper to get him down
just to get it.
on to locate on the dowels. The trouble is we're going against the valve springs as well, because
Yeah.
obviously it's. So yeah, we'll stop there, put all the nuts on, and then we can pull it down.
Okay.
We need to get the engine at, not at TDC, and if we pull it down as it is, it'll might contact with the tops of the piston
it
crowns.
becomes an interference here.
Exactly.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Great.
So these two are now holding it down, and
Yeah.
they've got a locker under it.
And we can just take
So we
that
take
front.
the others out.
Yeah, just take that front one off. Okay.
So different when at rest to when it's working. It'll be busy.
So that's basically all the top rocker on,
Mm-hmm.
heads on. Now we can then torque.
Everything.
There you go. Put a little dot. So there we go. Cool. So this is the oil gallery that I was telling you about earlier on. So
Yeah.
this is critical to maintaining oil pressure.
Right.
So if that bung, for whatever reason, was left out,
It's bad.
it's really bad.
All of this is lunged.
Clean off this face around here
Yep.
and clean this running face in there. That needs cleaning.
That face is not very flat at the bottom. Is that? It's not gasketed, is it?
It's got a very flexible gasket that goes over
Oops,
it,
because
so
that.
it'll all pull up This is, I mean, look at the size of it. This is what's going on.
Oh, right.
So-
Oh, okay. I'll worry less. So these, I'm presuming, locate on those pegs.
Yeah, so you've got the gasket side the other way around. So the gasket
it's just-
side has got to go up against the block.
Let's just check.
Like that. Go till it literally just nips.
Just sits flat.
Yeah.
I'm not even using the handle. And it's quite important because it keeps all the oil in the engine.
Most of the oil.
Most of the oil.
Let's set up our aspirations where we need to be.
Okay,
It is a Land
keep
Rover
some oil in the
at the end
engine
of the
and
day.
let some of it onto the
Yeah, there'll
ground.
be a little
Yeah.
bit coming through. Right, cool.
As I look at this, I'm thinking, oh God, I've got to make the rest of the car good enough to match up to it. It's still just in bits.
Let's get the flywheel housing on. If you position that on the dowels, so you see you've got these two great big dowels, get that in. Brilliant. And these locate. How's that fit? Tight?
Yeah.
You don't want it coming undone, trust me.
I'm using nature's torque wrench.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got to align this with that handy dowel in there.
Got it.
And it's going to be quite...
And it's going to hang off it, and it'll only just... Oh yeah, that's going to be a riff.
you've got to watch those fingers.
Oh my word.
Try and give it a slight...
Persuasion.
Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right, let's just get one of these in.
So all valve assemblies all done. We've done all the fiddly bits on the top and on this engine to the side. They're busy themselves getting mixture in and out. And now flywheel housing is on, flywheel is going on. And at that point the engine is kind of, is that complete enough for you to look at timing and stuff?
Yes,
and that's making sure
do the
it's
timing.
the very
Yeah.
basic, is everything in the right place at the right time? Valves
Exactly.
open, cylinders in the right place, pistons in the right place relative to valves. Because this is the sort of thing, if you get it wrong, it either doesn't
it's
work
a bad day out.
or detonates itself.
So we need to rotate the crankshaft around until we get the EP mark. When we turn it around,
You'll see
there'll
the-
be a mark on the flywheel that it'll align with.
Right. Oh, hang on, here it is, here it comes. Right.
Okay, how close am I to getting
You're
it
about
on
an
the
inch
pointer?
off at most.
Okay, call it out as it gets
Keep going,
closer.
getting closer, centimetre, half centimetre, 5 mil, and stop.
Great
I want to get your, because there's a degree of parallax error here.
Yeah,
because
there is, yeah.
it depends how tall or short you are as to how close it is.
We could go around a tiny bit, but it won't make a...
That is literally because you're taller than me.
yeah.
I see now, I decide.
I think for the sake of getting it for the first try, we'll go with that. Right.
You heard that.
So yeah, so at the moment, that valve is fully open on number 1, and we've got this aligned on EP. So if we then set the gauge, which is running away. So what we now need to do is basically fit this on with this timing chain.
So really, in terms of heart of the engine, that's kind of the most mission critical bit. Because if the top end doesn't talk to the bottom end.
Right, this is, again, it's kind of old school tech in terms of a locking mechanism.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll just pop him into there, put that there, and then that will then screw onto there. Lovely.
Backhand with your left hand.
Sweet.
Tension.
And we've got obviously a little washer and a split pin to go through.
Yeah.
Do you want to put that on?
Oh, I hate split pins. So it's on there.
Yeah, and I'll just guide it. If you splay it apart. Yeah.
Get in the groove. There you are.
Perfect. Well done.
Hurrah! Engine is now connected top to bottom.
Yeah. And now we're going to rotate it just to basically check that it does exactly what it should do. So you can see
Valves doing their thing. And push rods being pushed up to the top.
and it hasn't
to the
stopped,
inlet.
which means we haven't had a piston hit
Put
the
it
valve,
into a valve.
which is great.
From now, it's all about getting
It's getting
all the
all the
stuff on that
covers
gets
on,
the fuel
water
and the
pump
air
on.
in
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
exhaust out.
Yeah.
But that is now an engine. Lastly, all that needed to be done was to put the timing cover on. Right. What am I doing?
You don't need it along there.
And round the hole. Ooh,
No, straight through the centre of the hole.
really?
And
Like
thinner,
that?
thinner, much thinner.
this Liqui Moly silicone sealing compound ensures no oil leaks where it shouldn't. It's these small details that make a big difference when you're putting a legendary off-roader back together.
We're going to have to wipe a bit of this off because it was
I put too
a
much
bit
on.
enthusiastic, but it'll be okay.
With a little help from Liqui Moly, this Land Rover is one step closer to getting back on the road. If you're looking for the best products for your engine, click the link in the description.
Okay,
I do cake icing as well.
right. If you bring the timing cover,
Timing cover.
I'll bring the bolts. So other way around.
Other way up.
Yeah.
Let's get that sorted. Right.
Right.
Oh, there.
Towards you, clock it. Let it down a bit. Down a bit more. There we go.
We're on.
Right.
So that's all sealed up. Safe and
Don't
sound.
do that one
Why not?
because there's a bracket that goes on there. It's got a longer bolt.
You remember that?
I did.
Obviously, there is the matter now of building an entire car
Yeah.
to go around the setting, if you will, for your dual of an engine. Thank you for your help, Dave.
Thank you.
Thoroughly enjoyed
Thank you,
that.
Richard. Yes.
And do please subscribe to continue watching the adventures of this Land Rover. It's the car that was once voted by the British public as the greatest car ever made. Will run again. Keep watching.